Note made its name with timeless photography, revolutionary cover design, and what was then considered to be state-of-the-art sound. Everything began in Berlin with the wild jazz scene of the 20s and 30s. But then when the Nazis came to power, Jewish jazz fans Alfred and Frank Wolff had to flee. They made for New York, where they founded their record label, Blue Note. The Jewish Museum in Berlin is now showing a selection of photographs by Francis Wolff, as he chose to call himself in the U.S., and Alfred, who assumed the name Alfred Lion.
He wanted to capture the real essence of the music as you would hear it in any club on 52nd Street or in Harlem, you know, without all the commercial trappings. So it was a very much of a purist thing that drove them to make an independent label.
Blue Note became a home for Afro-American virtuosos. The record company evolved into a kind of family in which everybody knew one another and everyone made music together. This year's Berlin Jazz Festival marked the label's 70th anniversary with performances by many Blue Note artists, including Terence Blanchard.
Blue Note, man, is an institution. Blue Note itself is a testament to a few men's passion for jazz.
Even the name Blue Note owes itself to jazz and the bluesy tones that make it what it is.
An example. If I play and want to make the whole thing bluesy, I stay in a major chord, but then I might play this seventh, which doesn't necessarily belong there. And when I play the major third, I can even set it up by playing a minor third. Then I'm getting closer to the original idea of blue notes, and then I go. So really I'm just moving about in no man's land between major and minor.
Götz Alsmann is one of the few German musicians to be signed by Blue Note, even though his style of modern jazz is a far cry from the sounds of the 50s and 60s.
Du hast mir gerade noch zu meinem Glück gefehlt. Ausgerechnet du, ausgerechnet du. Ich hab mir alles so ganz anders vorgestellt. Aber dann ganz
Blue Note has changed. In the days of Alfred Lion and Francis Wolff, jazz with German texts wouldn't have made it into their company repertoire. Even now, such music is something of an anomaly at Blue Note. Alsmann remembers a meeting with the acting head of the label.
You play each other a couple of things, and by then it's too late. You've given the game away, and you either get a dressing down or have an ideological discussion. And those who were there from the German Blue Note faction played my record, Mein Geheimnis. And then one of the Americans said something like, "I don't understand a word of what the kid's singing, but he seems crazy. Carry on."
Blue Note is constantly taking jazz to new limits. Guitar talent Lionel Loueke, who was discovered by Herbie Hancock, surprised audiences at the jazz festival with his African sounds.
For me personally, what makes Blue Note one of the biggest, if not the biggest, jazz label is because they're not just signing artists in general, they're signing people with their own voice, you know.
Blue Note still stands for contemporary jazz, but at the same time, the label continues to live from the legends who made it great. The passion of founders Lion and Wolff can still be heard today.